UNARepublic for me. UNA,
Yeah. Halo, halo, halo. Diva, diva in the house. Halo. TikTok. Halo. YouTube. Diva Lyri in the house. We are representing for the UNA University and UNARepublic. We're doing it today. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And I say, welcome, welcome. What's going on? I don't like my lighting today. Hold on, let me try to fix this. Hold on. What's going on with the lighting today? All right, what's going on over here? Wait a minute. Where is my lighting? Hold on. I gotta fix this. All right, that's it. I gotta invest in some more lights. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, Diva in the house, rocking with you. All right, we're gonna get into this thing. So remember, everybody, we are gearing up. We're gearing up for our new season, spring 2023. Welcome, everybody. Chilling. Welcome. And let's see who else is in the house. Walker, thank you for joining. I want y'all to like and share and like and love. All right, we had a great session on yesterday where we were dealing with the dimensions, the different dimensions that are going on. So today I got this topic that came up. And this topic that we're going to deal with today, it is blaming everybody for your problems but you. Blaming everybody for your problems but you. All right, we're going to get into that today. All right, what this is, blaming everyone for your problems but you, and why it's important to recognize what's going on. Today we're getting into some universal laws. All right, we're also getting into some different dimensions. We're going to get into how energies work. That's one of the big things that, people don't understand how these energies work because we are just oblivious to the universal law. So we're getting into that today. Now, before I go into that, I want to remind you all that we do have our ebook, ladies and gentlemen. We have our ebook. All right. This is the UNA Beginner Law Book. It deals with a lot of the basics of what we talk about. This is talking about the trust, definitely about the universal laws, definitely about the hierarchy of laws, definitely about the maxims of law. This is our ebook. Now, you can get this in ebook form, of course, the digital form. You can go to UNAuniversity.com. You can also, you're going to be able to find the link in the profile. Also, you can get this in the book form, all right, the physical copy. Now, the physical copy is $29.99. The ebook format is $15.99. With the physical copy, you're going to get a copy of the hierarchy of laws. Now, these are in the book, but we're also going to give you a laminated copy of this. All right, this is the hierarchy of laws. If you don't listen, if you haven't seen this chart, this chart helps you to understand where you stand in this system. All right, We also have the universal laws, right? You're going to get a laminated copy of this. Also, you're going to get a copy of the vibratory frequency chart. These are all in the book. All right, I'm going to open up the book so you can see some of the things in the book. However, you want to go ahead and get, if you want to get your physical copy, it's going to come with laminated versions. Let me see if I can go through these pages a little bit quick. These are the maxims of law right here. Let me go back because I'm going to go to the hierarchy of law and the universal law here. All right, we go through here. We got back here. Again, this is talking about contract law. This is talking about, all of our basics with respect to what we deal with in our classes. All right. Vibratory frequency chart is all in here. However, we're wanting to make sure you can put these on your refrigerator. We want you to tear the page out the book. All right, so we're giving it to you. Make sure you can put these up on your refrigerator, on your mirror. All right. The ebook, you can get that now. Go. You can find the link in the bio. All right, $14.99 for the ebook. $29.99 for the physical book. All right, now let's get into this. We're dealing today, once again, with blaming everyone for your problems but you. Now, we talked about yesterday the different dimensions, just a few levels above where we are, because they go into so many different dimensions that I only want to deal with the ones where you're able to control this third dimension. All right, we in elementary school, so we're going to start with the 5th, 6th, 7th dimension. That's elementary school. All right, now, where we are in dealing with the vibratory frequency and all of that, one of the things we want to go into first is the universal laws. And I'm going to put, I'm going to put those up today. I'm going to flip the rig today because we're going through these universal laws. My people in YouTube, I hope you can see me. I don't know, we having problems with the internet today, but I'm going to flip this rig. My people in TikTok, I love y'all. I love them too. They all right. But y'all the bomb, TikTok. So let me, I'm going to flip my rig because I want to share this information with you and make sure you all are getting it. Now, give me one moment because y'all, we're going to do this today. We're going through it today. All right, we're going through these universal laws and things are made to be a little bit more difficult than they need to be, but we're going to fix it right now. Now, while I'm doing this real quick, let me just make a point about universal laws. If you, and you saw me put them up here, but if you want to get those, go to UNARepublic.com. UNARepublic, excuse me, UNARepublic.com /docs, DOCS. UNARepublic.com /docs, DOCS. And you can get those laws because I really do want you to have them. It's very important. But even if you don't get them from there, I'm going to put them up right here, right now, in just a few minutes. Soon as I get over these issues going on with my system. All right. All right. All right. So I want to thank you all for joining. Y'all like and share. Those of y'all who are familiar with our platform, welcome back. Welcome back. And don't forget, we are gearing up for the UNA University session for spring 2023. I welcome each and every one of you to send us a message. Go to unauniversity.com and send us a message. All right, so that we can get you enrolled. The consultation for enrollment is free. So send us a message so that we can get you enrolled and into the university. Now I am flipping the rig now. I'm going to take these effects off of here. And I don't think my people in YouTube can see me today. But we're going to continue. We're going to continue. All right. So, all right. Now, I'm going to go into this, and I hope you all are seeing this okay. Now, talked about universal laws. Now, today I want to go over the law of oneness, which is we are all connected. When you uplift the next person, you uplift yourself. We're also going to go over the law of cause and effect. Nothing is happenstance. Everything that we put into the universe must be returned to us. We reap what we sow. And we're also going to go over the law of compensation. Let me rephrase that. The law of correspondence. All right. Law of correspondence and law of cause and effect. We're going over those two today. Law of correspondence states we are the sole creators of energies within our life. There are no victims. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Be positive and reflect positivity. Okay. So we're going into it, ladies and gentlemen. The law of oneness, the law of correspondence, and the law of cause and effect, and why they are so important. These universal laws, once again, I encourage all of you all to download them. Once again, we do have the ebook. You can get the ebook. You can find the link in the bio, or you can go to UNARepublic.com and you will find it. Now, why do we go so hard on the universal laws? Everything falls up under universal laws, and it's important to understand that, because once you do, all of the other laws become easy and child's play, because everything has to go back to these laws. Now, one of our issues is that we don't recognize that these laws even exist, and we don't recognize how they affect us every second of our day, every time we speak, every time we think, every time you think something, these laws are in full effect. All right, so let's go into it. We are all connected, and that's one of the things we have to start recognizing, is that when you, whomever, it's your child. We talked about this. Your child is your past. Your child is also your future. We talked about that yesterday. But let's understand that everybody in your face, in your third dimension, is only a reflection of you. Their energies are only based off of the energies that you have put out. And so one of the things we have to recognize is that when you are in full understanding, or you have full cognizance of the fact that your energies affect everything in your third dimension, this is when you learn how to control your third dimension. Now, we're talking about blaming everyone for your problems but you. The issue here is that when we're talking about oneness, and you want to blame, you're blaming your husband, your wife, your children, your boss, your co-workers, everybody else is to blame for your issue but you. And the thing is, when you're in that mindset, you are in a state of victimhood. And when you're in a state of victimhood, then you are allowing your universe to spiral out of control. When you find yourself angry, when you find yourself frustrated, you can't get your peace, and you want to blame your husband, you want to blame everybody else. But the truth is, we have to, when we start recognizing that, okay, I'm in control now. So somebody's hearing, nah, but my husband did this, or people are just buttholes, or your boss is just a jerk. But when you start recognizing they are only there because of the energies you put out, this is when you get to reflect and change your world to be what you want it to be. This is very important right here. A lot of people, they thinking, oh, my issue is money. My issue is this. Your issue is that you have to learn to control your own energies. I want to go into the law of cause and effect. Law of correspondence. Law of correspondence says we are the sole creators of energies within our life. There are no victims. I'm going to say that again. We are the sole creators of energies within our life. There are no victims. You are not a victim to your spouse. You are not a victim to your job and your boss and your co-workers and the customers and the clients. You're not a victim to them, or anything for that matter. If the energy is coming to you, then you've got to recognize you did something to bring it. And it's really, that's grasping that point there is one of the most difficult, because all of us, sometimes we get frustrated and we think, well, this guy said this and I don't normally get upset. But you've got to recognize if he's coming to you with that energy, you put it out somewhere. I'm going to give you an example. And, because I understand these laws, it helps me to see things. I can see people's past. I can see people's future because I recognize these laws. So I'm going to give you an example. I had a student, a former student, to tell me about, she lives in Boston. She's like, oh, these people up here in Boston, how they say Boston, they racist up here, and they just mean, and they just rude and disrespectful. And so she was telling me about how she was walking somewhere, and then she says that somebody called her a nigger, the N-word. And I was like, And see, when somebody, first of all, when somebody tells me about how, a place is racist, I already know that is energy. All right, I already know that. You can't tell me that because I know energies. So she wants to act as though she's a victim of Boston and this racist whatever. And she tells me somebody called her the N-word. I'll just say the N-word. And I said, okay. And then she goes on, and I was like, and I asked her, I was like, what did you do to cause it? Of course, she was saying, well, I didn't do nothing. I don't bother people. I'm too nice. I'm such a nice, kind person. I'm so soft-spoken and blah, blah, blah. Okay, and she's a soft-spoken person. You're seemingly sweet person. Okay. But then she says it happened again. She was telling me about how it had happened within a certain frame of time. And I already knew when she told me somebody called her the N-word, that she did something to bring the energy. And you're probably sitting there thinking, well, nah, people in Boston, yeah, I heard about Boston. Yeah, no, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. So she says somebody did it to her twice. She told me about 2 incidents where it happened. And then I knew. I was like, no, you have been disrespectful to someone else. You've made some kind of racial epithets or to somebody else. She's like, no, I don't do that. Then she tells me, and listen to me, this is why these laws and understanding these laws are very important, because I know that when I sit down and talk to somebody, they can't tell me about what somebody else did to them without telling me what they did to somebody else. I'm going to say this again. Because I know these laws, you cannot tell me about what somebody did to you without telling me what you did to somebody else. That is how the law works. So she's telling me after saying that somebody called her the N-word, 2 different people called her the N-word twice. No, I didn't do anything. And so as we continue to converse, because I know that eventually she's going to spill the beans and tell the truth about what really happened. Then she tells me about her neighbor who comes over to her house. And she calls her neighbor a half-breed. Pay attention. Pay attention. Her neighbor comes over to her house and she calls her neighbor a half-breed. And I'm sitting here and I'm really just kind of laughing at the fact that she's spilling the beans because I know it's going to come out. So her neighbor, she's telling me about how she calls her neighbor a half-breed. And she goes on to say how her neighbor told her that she didn't like it. Her neighbor tells her, I don't appreciate you calling me a half-breed. Well, why is she calling her neighbor a half-breed? Because she has one parent that's albion and another one that's melanated. Okay, well, but that's just me. I'm a half-breed, so I figured like I could call her half-breed. I'm a half-breed. Yeah, but she told you she felt disrespected by you calling her a half-breed. So in this, conversation that we're having, she goes on to tell me how she does it constantly, even though she realizes that her neighbor does not appreciate the nickname. So now I'm saying to her, can you not see where these energies coming from, that these people calling you the N-word? Because that didn't just happen all of a sudden. That just didn't pop up out of nowhere. Those are energies. And here again, this is why I'm pointing out this universal law. We are the sole creators of energies within our life. There are no victims. You are not a victim to those people who were calling you the N-word. You were receiving the same energy that you had put out to your neighbor when she told you, I feel disrespected when you called me this racial epithet. Well, then, okay. You don't want to listen to that? Well, the universe is sending you the energy back. Nigga. You don't get it when she told you, I feel disrespected. But the universe has to send somebody else into your dimension to give you the same energy, make you feel the same way, the same amount of disrespect that you made somebody else feel when you said that racial epithet. So if you don't get it when she telling it to you, the universe is going to bring it to you. Nigga, do you get it now? But no, you want to say everybody in Boston is disrespectful and racist. No, it's you. So I say to you, you can't tell me about what somebody else did to you without telling me what you did to somebody else. It doesn't work where, were they just racist? That's not how it works. If somebody's bringing you an energy, you put it out. Next, I want to go into the law of cause and effect. Nothing is happenstance. Every energy that we put into the universe, it must be returned to you. Now, these two, I'll speak on them together because they're very similar to each other. All right, it's all about, first of all, you not claiming to be a victim. Secondly, understanding that things happen for a reason. They just don't pop up and come out of nowhere. If somebody is in your face and they are delivering an energy to you, then they are delivering it because you put it out. And so getting back to this, blaming everyone for your problems but you. So let's talk about the job, for example. And you know, people are blaming their boss. Oh, my boss is a jerk, and that's just how people are. All right. So this is what I want to deal with, because think about the job you had before that. You ever met somebody, and it doesn't matter what job they get, there's just issues, and then they want to blame it on, oh, well, it's the boss, it's the this, it's the pay, it's the people, it's the public, but the truth is, it's you. It's them. You have to be willing to accept responsibility. Now, some people, when they hear this, again, nothing is happenstance. Everything happens for a reason. You're at this job because that's the job you asked for. You are getting this energy from your boss because of the energy that you have put out. When you are ready to change you, your boss got to change. Your co-workers got to change. The customers got to change. Your husband's got to change. Your children got to change. Your mama and your daddy, they all got to change as soon as you change you. Now, let's go into this and understand how this works. I'm going to flip my rig, and unfortunately, my YouTube people are out today. Let me flip my rig back. I'm flipping my rig. All right, one moment. And I do want to get to your comments and questions, because I'm sure some people have some questions, some thoughts. Nah, Diva, some people just buttholes, and some people just, everything. You don't have control of everything. Well, here's the deal. All right. Some people are going to look at it as though, you're victim blaming. But again, let's be clear, there are no victims. There are no victims. All right. And one moment while I pull my, what is it? TikTok. There we go. All right, there we go. Let me fix my screen. All right. So now we've gone over the universal laws. Let me see who had comments, if anybody. And thank you for liking and sharing. Thank you for joining. See if I have any comments. Karen says, what? What, Karen? You have it up backwards. Okay. You should have been able to see it, Karen. My other friend. Okay, so I'm going into this now, and I thank you all for sticking and staying. Going into how these energies work. Now, what I want to make it clear about is that a lot of people think that if I do something to them, or if I don't do anything to them, then they shouldn't do anything to me. That's not how the energies work. So I'm going to give you an example of how this works. When you put out an energy, it takes days, maybe 7 to 10 days is my frequency. It depends on who you are and how fast you manifest. That determines how fast energies come back to you. 7 to 10 days. Now, in recognizing that, if you put out an energy, it's going to take that amount of time for it to come back. It is not going to necessarily come back from the person who you gave the energy to. Just like the woman who I told you that was calling this woman a half-breed, and she got it back from an Albion person who called her the N-word. All right. So she had to get it back from somebody else because the energies had to be balanced. And it takes time. It doesn't happen the same day. It normally, like I said, 7 to 10 days. That's when you see it come back. All right. So let's recognize how this works. If, let's say, I had a student who told me about how they, the cop pulled him over. Oh, Diva, the cop pulled me over, and the cop was racist. And then he said, because you're a young black man in an expensive car, so I know you probably got some drugs, so I'm going to search your car. And he searched my car, and then he didn't find nothing. And then I told him he wasn't going to find nothing, and I also didn't give him consent to search my car. Okay. So he's like, but what about that incident? The cop was just racist. And I was like, okay, well, why don't you tell me about the person who you disrespected, and you went through their belongings, and they had told you they didn't do anything. They told you they were innocent. So, and I knew, I'm like, yes, it's likely your child who you did that exact same way. And they had told you that they were innocent of whatever, and you searched their things. Tell me about that. He got quiet. How did I know this? Because I know law and I know energies. So what happens that we have to recognize is he's thinking that this cop is racist. And again, all of this is in his mind. He's manifested that cop, first of all. He's manifested that cop with his energies in his mind and watching too much TV and not understanding these laws. And also with his energies by what he did to somebody else. He made somebody else feel degraded. He accused somebody else of something. He searched through somebody else's property. Now, he might feel like he got the right to do it. Just like the cop feels like, I got the right to search your car. That's what they feel like they got the right. That cop is just returning an energy to him that he had put out to his child. And you got to recognize it shows up in your dimension based on your thought. If you're watching all this TV and you got it in your mind, oh, cops are racist and Albions are racist, and the white man is racist, and you got all of this in your mind, this is what you're going to manifest. This is why we talk about in the university not allowing people to plant seeds in your mind. You can't allow the media to plant seeds in your mind. Thank you all for joining someone tonight. Cassandra, thank you so much for joining. All right, so recognize that when we start gaining control of our thoughts, when we start gaining control of our energies, then we gain control of what shows up in our third dimension. These examples I'm giving you, again, I know what was happening because I know law. I am an oracle because I know these laws, and I use my third eye. See, we learn to see with different eye. This right here, this eye right here has a whole brighter vision than what you're seeing with these two eyes. Now, you can use these two eyes to help you with this third eye, but you got to have this turned on. And when you know these laws, oh, that third eye will open right on up. People can't lie to you. They can try. Well, you know, I would never steal. I would never. Oh, okay, that's why your whole car is gone. Yeah, I already know. But you know, people are thieves. This world got thieves in it. Yeah, you. And you're not gonna meet up with a thief if you're not putting out those type of energies. Oh, I hit somebody with that one. Somebody like, nah, I ain't buying that diva. Okay, you don't have to buy it. I'm letting you know. This is why we talk about being able to stand under God's law. All right, we're talking about being sovereign. Sovereign meaning being a master of self. You don't need a government. Well, when you don't do certain things, certain energies cannot come to you. If you don't steal, then thieves cannot find you. If you are not harmful and hurting people, then you will not find a hurtful energy to you. If you are telling me my ex was a liar, a cheater, a thief, and all that, what you did, you just told me who you are. You cannot tell me about how terrible someone who you're dating is without telling me who you are. They are your reflection. They are your reflection, whether you want to believe it or not. If oh, he a deadbeat, this and that. Oh, you tell me about yourself? So this is why, again, it's important that we learn to take responsibility for whatever energies are coming to us, because as soon as you do, then you get to control your third dimension. See, somebody who's in a victim mind state, and this is why we go through the vibratory frequency chart. I'm not going to flip the rig again because I don't want to go through that. But this is why we go through getting your vibratory frequency right. All right. If you are in a higher vibratory frequency, then when somebody says it's all your fault, what you hear is, oh, I got all the power. That's what you should be hearing. You should not be hearing, oh, she blaming me. I'm the victim. I'm the one who was hurt and all that. No, no, no. No. If you're in those kind of energies, you're vibrating on a lower frequency. You can't control your third dimension because something else is controlling it. Your anger, your hate, your disgust, your disdain, your shame, all that. That's controlling your third dimension. Your third dimension is out of control. You want to gain control of your third dimension? Accept full responsibility. Oh, that guy, he seems like he's being a jerk. But let me ask the universe, wait a minute. Was I a jerk to somebody recently? Was I disrespectful? Listen, let me tell you something. That is a serious exercise. And a lot of us don't even know to practice that. But as soon as you learn to start practicing pulling back when somebody upsets you, whether it be your child, your spouse, your co-workers, your boss, some client, whatever. When somebody comes at you and something frustrates you, we want to learn to pull back. Because as soon as you learn to pull back and ask the question, where did this energy come from? The universe is going to start revealing it to you. The universe is going to start revealing the energy to you. And then this is when you're going to start learning to control your own energies. You're going to start controlling your thoughts. You're going to start controlling your things you say. You're going to control your actions. You're going to be in control of you. And as soon as you get control of you, everybody else has to come into order, whether they want to or not. Your wife, your children, your boss, everybody has to come into order as soon as you control your mind, your words, your actions. They have to. They don't have a choice. This is why it's important to recognize that you are the one with the power. Because if you are still in a victimized state, if you are constantly in a lower vibratory frequency, you angry, you upset, you pissed off, you whatever, you are not getting the lesson that you are here to get. You are here to learn the lesson. Get the lesson. You can't get it unless you learn to vibrate on a higher frequency. Understanding. Again, I'm going over this. Kindness, compassion, love, honesty, integrity, respect. When you have those things going on in your realm and in your dimension, all right, you're vibrating on a higher frequency. And then you are in control of what's showing up in your third dimension. That's very important. I hope y'all are getting that. Thank you so much. Cassandra says, good teaching. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Loved but hated. I'm sorry, I just messed that name up. I told you these TikTok names. Loved but hated. You are loved and not hated here. I want you to know that. Thank y'all for joining the Quay. Thank you, Ranson. All right, so now I want to go into this next topic. We spoke about it briefly on yesterday. Ephraim in the house. Thank you, Ephraim, for all the love. All right, we spoke about this topic yesterday. Fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. Walking in the fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. All right, we are here. Congratulations, we have arrived. You're walking in a higher dimension now. Let's talk about what it is when we're dealing with walking in the fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. All right. Again, getting your energies on point. Now, fifth dimension, we're talking about actions. What do you do? What things do you do during the day to put yourself in a higher vibratory frequency? When you go and exercise, are you eating right? Are you, when you meet up with somebody and somebody needs your help, are you helping them? Those are energies and things that you're doing that cause you to be in a higher vibratory frequency. That's our fifth dimension, where we're doing actions that are actually causing us to be on a higher vibratory frequency. We're doing things. What are you doing? All right. Why is that important? I want y'all to understand something, and I actually do have a visual aid on this. When you're in class, you get the visual aid. But what happens with when we're talking about the fifth, sixth, and seventh dimension, we're talking about a different universe. You've heard people talk about multiverses and parallel universes. That's what we're talking about. They're a parallel universe. So I'm gonna give you an example. All right. You ever almost stepped off of a curb and a bus hit you? Almost hit you. Didn't hit you, but the bus almost hit you. And you pull back, you're like, man, I almost got hit by that bus. Well, in this universe, you didn't get hit by that bus. But in another universe that's parallel to it, you got hit by that bus. All right. What stopped you from getting hit by that bus in this universe are the energies that you have put out. All right. You put out an energy such that that energy, you were protected from being hit by that bus. Whereas in a different universe where you put out a negative energy, oh, that bus took you out. Every second, there are infinite number of possibilities and things that can happen. And I want to say thank you for liking and sharing. Honey Bee, thank you so much. I want you to think about this, because there are infinite possibilities in every millisecond of your life. Your thoughts and your actions and your energies are what determine what happens into you in each millisecond. Now, with that being said, going back to the example of the bus, again, you put out energy such that you were protected, and your subconscious is in this dimension. And so you weren't supposed to see that bus. You weren't supposed to get hit by that bus. Good. Now we're understanding how there are these multiverses. Now, getting back to the fifth dimension and the energies that we're putting out. Let's say you are going along your day and you meet up with somebody, and that person needs your help. And they're saying, hey, could you please give me directions to 5th and 10th Street, because I was down here, and you say, yeah, I can give you directions. Come, as a matter of fact, follow me. I'm gonna take you there. And you take them there and you help them out. Fine. Now that's the positive energy. That energy you put out, the universe is going to balance it. All right. That's in the fifth dimension. That energy you put out, the universe is going to balance it. Now, from the same token, if you had met up with that same person and they said, hey, I need help. No, I'm busy. I'm late. I ain't got time to talk to you. I got to get to church. All right. That energy shall be balanced. Now, down the road, as we talked about, 7 to 10 days, you're going to meet up with somebody. It's not going to be that same person, but the energy you put out has put you into a different universe or parallel universe or multiverse. In this universe right here, you up here where you were kind to this person. This is the universe that you have created with your energies. There's a universe down here where you met up with that same person and you were disrespectful to them. Now, depending on which one you did, that's going to determine how the people who you meet up with now are treating you. All right? If you up here in this universe and you meeting up with people, you going into the store, the clerk is hooking you up with something, or you going into the store and everybody's kind, or you walking down the street and everybody's speaking to you and everybody's giving you favor and love, that's because you up here in this universe because you put it out in the past. But when you go into this same store and the clerk is giving you the evil eye and the stank eye and the disrespect and not smiling at you, and you down here, and people bumping into you and not holding the door and letting the door slam in your face, and this is because you down here because of that energy when you spoke to that one guy. It doesn't take a lot. When you put out a small energy, it multiplies. That's one of the law of compensation. Whatever you put out is returned in multiples. So you being, what they say, random kindness, just being kind to one person, whether hey, you got a beautiful smile, or you look nice today, or whatever it is. I'm being helpful. I'm going to help you. I'm going to take you there myself. Those kind of things is what changes your whole universe. It will be something so small as that. It will change your whole universe. It's going to determine whether up here you get favor or down here you get the stank eye from everybody who comes in contact with you because of the energies you put out in another time. I hope y'all are understanding that, because this is very serious when we're talking about walking in the fifth dimension. What energies are you putting out? What are you doing? What are you eating? What are you, who are you hanging around? What are you saying? What songs are you listening to? What are you doing to put yourself in a different vibratory frequency? How are you walking? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the fifth dimension. Sixth dimension. We're talking about your vibratory frequency. Meaning, once again, how you feel. How you feeling? I mean, you might do something to make yourself feel good every day, like put on some nice clothes, take a bath. Put on some clothes, put on some makeup, go out and eat, and whatever, go out, hang out with friends. How are you? What is your frequency? How are you feeling? So when I talked about if you angry, sad, shameful, disgusted, you in the lower vibratory frequency. All right, you have to change that. If somebody comes into your face, you got to recognize who they are, and again, pull back. And ask the universe, where is this energy coming from? Because that's when we're talking about willingness to understand. That's when we're talking about compassion, that C. Compassion and understanding. All right. So when you are able to pull back and you have compassion and you're able to take a deep breath and don't allow yourself to sink in those lower vibratory frequencies, and even if you do sink down there, you need to come up out of it. Put some music on. Put your favorite music on, whether it's gospel, whether it's hip hop or rock or blues or jazz or R&B. Put something on so you can come up out of that frequency. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced this when you in the worst mood, but then when you put music on, music is a drug. Music is more powerful than coffee. It'll wake you up. Music will take away your pain. Music will change your mood inside of 2 minutes. So the last thing you want to do is dwell in a lower vibratory frequency. If you find yourself there, put some music on or do something to bring yourself up out of that vibratory frequency. This is what we're talking about in the sixth dimension. All right. And then when we're talking about seventh dimension, we're talking about what you believe. And I don't like to use that term believe because it's way deeper and far beyond belief. This is about what you know. What am I talking about? There are things that are said in this dimension that we have just taken as truth. And because we've taken it as truth, then we buy into it, and then that becomes our law because we have agreed to it. So I'm going to give you an example that I used yesterday. For example, when there are patients who are diagnosed with terminal illness, and most of the times when the doctor says, "Oh, you're going to die in a month," and there are people who will just take that to heart and they'll let that be their contract, and then they buy into it. And so as soon as you buy into it, every cell in your vessel buys into it. It's a contract. So now that is what you're going to live or not live, because you're going to be gone within a month because you agreed to the contract that the doctor told you. Now, any doctor or nurse or any kind of health practitioner will tell you that the people who survive longer than what the diagnosis is, 90% of them survive because they just believe or they know that the doctor don't know what he's talking about. They know it. They're like, nah, God got this. I got this. I see something different. They see something different with this eye. Not these eyes. They see something different right here. And once they have seen something different, then every vessel in their body got to live what they saw up here. See, the problem is that the doctor comes in and feeds you a story or feeds you a line, and you allow it to be right here. Okay, well then the rest of your body gonna follow what you allowed to be right here. But when those other people who the doctor said, oh, you got a month, and they live for 5, 10, 15 years longer than what the doctor said, why is that? Because they saw something else. They put it right here. They had a different vision. And as soon as they put it there, here, then every cell in their body had to respond to what they saw, the vision. So the seventh dimension, that's what you know. And a lot of y'all would be hear it as what you believe. That's fine, but it's way beyond belief, because just like those people who were told by the doctor, you got a month to live, and they ended up going on for a decade, it was way more than a belief. And when I just believe, no, I know you don't know what you're talking about. I know you don't know. All right. And so this is why when we're talking about the seventh dimension, now we're changing our whole mindset, our belief. All right. So fifth dimension, what are you doing? Your actions. Sixth dimension, your vibratory frequency. How do you feel? Seventh dimension, what's going on in your mind with this eye right here? What's going on there? What you do, what you feel, what you believe. Fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. That's what's going to allow you to control what's going on in this third dimension right here. All right. I wonder if I got any comments or questions or thoughts or disagreements or what have you. Do I have any comments? All right. So we're going to go into, I want to remind you all, thank you for liking and sharing. And also make sure you follow us. Okay. Don't forget, you can get the ebook. It is out now. All right, go get this ebook. You can find the link in the bio. It's $14.99. All right, the ebook format. This is $29.99, and it's this physical copy. All right, and it's going to come with the hierarchy of law chart. It's going to come with the universal law chart, as well as the vibratory frequency chart. So y'all make sure you go and get these. All right. And I want to say thank you all. Let me see if I have any questions. All right. Now, to just sum all of this up, the topic, blaming everyone for your problem but you. It's important that we be willing